So yeah, let me paint you a picture. So today we are going to talk about the ArchUnit, how we can use this library to building a better architecture, and how you can write better rules to make consistent your code base. So let me paint you a picture. If you are working on a project that started small, a few features, and manageable code base, someone drew a nice architecture diagram early on, showing how components should interact, and it all made sense and things were smooth. Okay, moving fast forward years, projects grown, your POC code turns into the project now. New features were added in a rush, some corners were cut, and now it's chaos. Components are tangled, every changes feel like a game of Jenga. One wrong move and whole things could come crashing down. Sounds familiar? Yeah. So this is where ArchUnit really helps us. So what is ArchUnit? So ArchUnit is a tool that helps to write automated tests to enforce an architecture rule in your Java application. Let's think of it as a safety net for your code base, a way to ensure it stays clean, consistent, and aligned with the original vision. But the best part, what is the best part? It's not just for architects. Every developer in your team can contribute and keep architecture in check. Here's how it works. ArchUnit lets you define a rules like in the Java code, like it happens like us with us, like we want to make sure that services should never depend on directly on the data access classes, like then controllers can only call methods in a service layer. It should not direct access your JPA layer. So it analyzes your compiled classes, checks their dependencies, and flags any violation. All of this happens in a plain Java with the Fluent API that's easy to use. So you don't need to learn any other tool or maybe a language. If you are aware with the Java, then it's for you. Now you might ask, like, why bothering testing architecture? Isn't it enough to trust the team and follow the rules? It happens, right? Most of the time we review the PR and we don't do the review like it actually needs to be reviewed. So well, trust is great, but let's be real. In the heat of deadlines, rules can be slipped through the cracks. Maybe someone new joins the team and doesn't know your organizational guidelines, or what is your way of writing the microservices. Or maybe someone is in a hurry and takes the shortcuts, like I just want to fix this bug and I want to uh, close this Jira ticket as early as possible. But with ArchUnit, you don't have to rely on a memory or manual reviews or some person dependent. These rules are automated and they are enforced every time the code is tested. So here's the exciting part. ArchUnit comes with the example. So this is a common repository, like ArchUnit repository. Here you can see like 3.2k stars are here. So it is widely accepted in a Java or Spring Boot community. So here if you go into the ArchUnit examples, you will find multiple examples are given, like plain Java, then JUnit 5 supported. So if we go inside the package, you will see plenty of Java are there. So for example, it many time happens like we write some code in a library, and that library is consumed by any other library, and again library B is consuming library A. So it creates a cyclic dependency, and most of the time we arrest it in a compile time, or maybe at runtime we get to know that there is a cyclic dependencies for. Okay, so here's so ArchUnit will help in to writing this kind of rules. So for example, controller rule test. Okay, so this ensures your controller follows a specific design pattern. Then there are like a layer dependency rule. So if you are forming a onion architecture or like a layer architecture where the REST API layer is different, then service layer is different, JPA layer is different, then it will help you to do that. So onion architecture test. Okay, so let's talk about this. So this checks whether your code is adhered to the principle of onion architecture, so what we are talking about earlier. Okay, then naming convention follow. So most of the time it happens like when the new joiners join your company and they are not aware like what is clean code practices and all. So this will ensure that like your service should have the starting or ending with the services, then it should reside in a service package. Same goes for the controller. This kind of rules you can write your own. So this example can serve as a template for defining your rules that matches your team's architecture principle or maybe your organization standards. So all you can find it over here. I will paste this link in a description. So coming to the next part, so where to start actually. So this is I will go to the official website. So this is the official website of ArchUnit, which have pretty good documentation like how to get started, then what is the core motivation to design this tool. So here they mention the idea behind this, like as there is like check style find bugs, indirectly we are using the Sonar Cloud to do this kind of testing. But yeah, all this is not can not be done easily, so where the ArchUnit help us to solve this issue. Then there is a like use case. So as I mentioned earlier, like there is a package dependency check, then the class dependency, class package container inheritance checks. So we can do, there is another one more good thing is like annotation checks. So it happens like most of the time we expose certain things, or we don't want to expose certain annotations, certain classes using annotations, but it is not completely ignored. So writing these rules will help you to define those rules, and it may be help you to the keep your architecture clean. So I have written one blog about it, so you can go through this where how to implement this. So in the dependency section you have to go and add this dependency. Then in the your test package, go and create a class. So I have created sample, I was just doing a POC around it, and I did some POC. So here you can see like domain layer should be independent, then infrastructure shared should only be accessed via interfaces. So while you are writing any services, we should write interfaces, so and interfaces are exposed to the outer world. Same goes for the repositories and controller. So most of the time it happens like we use DTOs to interact with the, like most of the time it happens like we expose the entity via controller, but it is not a good practice. We should always keep the entities inside our service domain, and we should interact with the outer world using DTOs only. So this is all about the rules. Okay, so once you write the written rules, you just need to run the unit test like we do for the JUnit or Mockito, whatever tools we are using. So what are the major benefits of using ArchUnit? So testing your architecture brings some major benefits, like it prevents a code base from turning into a spaghetti code. It happens like we generally write a constant inside the same service file or maybe controller. So we can write a rule for that, and it also helps to speed up a new onboarding onboarding a new developer in your team. So your team will have a certain standard to write a code, a certain way to write a code. So it's very easy for the developer or tech lead to delegate the responsibility, and we will rely on these rules. And it also supports the agile practices, so enabling the teams to evolve a code base with a confidence. So you don't need to worry about that once you write a good test cases. So ArchUnit is just not just a tool, it's a philosophy. It's about being proactive, ensuring your code base remain maintainable, scalable, and aligned to your team's vision. With ArchUnit, you can automate the architecture compliance, reduce technical debt, and building foundation for long-term success. So it might happen like you have written a code a year ago, and now you want to separate it out, or like introduce a new feature, and it will take some efforts to uh, differentiate the dependency among among two modules. So this will help you to write your code or architecture keep aligned with the certain standard Java standards. Okay, so yeah, for today that's it. Thank you. So this is another documentation provided by the ArchUnit, where you can go and see the like how you can use the rules, define rules, then how you can use the API layers and etc. So I will paste all the links into the description. Thank you for watching.